When you're overthinking it, you're like, all right, what if it doesn't go right? But you haven't even done it yet. So instead of putting yourself through the pain before the rejection, why not just ask the question without thinking about it? You'll have pain after, but at least you'll learn from it. And then you know, I have the ability to ask that question. Now I can actually learn and I can ask a better question. I'm not gonna go up to a girl, I'm not gonna ask, can I get your name? I'm gonna ask something that's a bit more crafty. Ask them, get embarrassed, get humbled, get rejected. Yeah. Learn from that pain.
Let me introduce to you Eoin Maginn. Eoin will be, and already is, an internet sensation. You might see him out in Belfast, Manchester or Dublin doing what he does best, creating content. Whether that's giving out free hugs, on the hunt for Ireland's best gym, or putting himself out there with rejection therapy. With all this whilst being an online fitness coach, creating over 100 plus epic humans. This young man will be huge. This is a podcast based on uncovering Ireland's most successful individuals, where we dive deep into the world of business, mindset and entrepreneurship. And this is one episode you cannot afford to miss. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea or whatever you fancy and prepare to be inspired. Because you're watching the official Young Hunger podcast. My name is Michael Burgess and we present to you Mr. Eoin Maginn.
Hello, I am Eoin Maginn, CEO of Dialed In by Maginn. Welcome to the Young Hunger podcast. This episode is going to be epic, so make sure to listen the whole way through. Time to dial in. Boom.
Eoin, welcome to the podcast.
Michael, thank you for having me on.
What's crack, lad? How's life been for you?
It's been pretty good. Dialing in, as they say.
Yeah,
So
and we're matching kind of as well. I kind of like it.
we're matching, but I'm wearing tracksuit bottoms with trainers, so I have to apologise for.
No, look, you're grand. You're a man that's super interesting because I met you out. Well, I kind of met you out at the event.
Yeah.
Is it the New Year, New Man?
Yeah, Ben Aaron's.
I was meaning to get actually chatting with you, and I didn't actually properly get chatting up with you. But when I was trying to think at the event, I think Ben was talking, and I seen you had your laptop out, and like whenever like speakers and stuff were like talking, you were like everyone else was listening, and I seen like this guy's like making notes now on his laptop, and I was like, that's interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like constantly on the go. Like, where does that come from? Like, where does this like energy? Like, I can feel it whenever you come in the room and stuff. Like, where does all that come from, lad?
I think it comes from obviously this last year. It's been really good, and like I always say with anyone, with any client, with anyone that wants to improve, it's about having a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
So I feel this past year has been like 2024. It's been nothing but a positive feedback loop. So obviously I launched my business, started 2024. That's when I launched Dialed In, and I just kept my head down and I kept doing the things that like I was told to do from other mentors. I see all those motivational people you hear. I actually listened to them. I actually listened to them. I was like, right, I'm not just gonna watch them and like be like, yes, I'm so hyped up and save them on my TikTok saves. I'm actually gonna like do what they say, like put my head down, say no to different things, and it just kind of worked out from that. So then whenever obviously the great speakers were up, I know that they're in great positions.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be them, but I want to learn. Like there's something to learn from everyone. So it's like taking notes. How do I actually implement this into my life? Because obviously my version of success may be different, but just different habits that they have.
Yeah.
You can always take that on board. So it's worked up until now. So now I'm like, right, every time there's like someone that I want to learn from, just learn from them. So,
I like it because I seen it, I was like, whoa, like that guy's like, you know, he's dialed in, as you say, like he's on it, because like I feel like everyone else was sort of just like taking it in, but you were like properly ingrained in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I noticed the first ever time I came across you, it was on TikTok, right? And I think you just left your job. Were you at PwC or something, or?
PwC, yeah, around the corner from here. So
Yeah. And you did like you left like your 9 to 5, and like you were like filming your like journey, I suppose, into like becoming self-employed and things.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So started content there. So obviously I launched the business January 2024.
Yeah.
And it was the summer before, so about 4 or 5 months before that, that's when I actually started uploading content. The reason being was because like the first few years being in my 9 to 5, I used to listen to all the fitness coaches online, all the motivational people online. I used to listen to their podcasts, listen to what they have to say, and I used to always think, this is doable. If they could do it, I can probably do it.
Yeah.
And obviously I was in the 9 to 5, and at a younger age too, it was like everyone was telling me I was in a very, very great position for where I was at, like the money I was making, what I was learning, because I was learning from like different people within that business. It was a big four company. So I was in a very, very good position, but I felt like there was so much more to do. I knew that I wanted to do my own thing, and I wanted to, like I would have walked to work, and you'd be walking to work and you'd just walk past the same people every day and you wouldn't say hello. Like there'd be no interaction. I'd go into the office, similar to how I came in here, and like we were having the crack, and like all three of us were just chatting away. I would go into the office, go into the room, be like, oh, what's the crack? Like all high energy, and people would have just said to me, oh, like, where do you get this energy? Like, how are you so high energy? And to be honest, I don't really know. Maybe if I dive into the backstory of it, I would know. But yeah, I just knew I had this energy to give out, and from like, it was more so just doing things that served myself. So from training, from listening to good podcasts, from reading books, from doing all the stuff that the motivational people tell you to do, I kind of got that way. So that's why I started uploading content to like show my normal life, show my 9 to 5, show my gym training routine, and just show other people that like you can always do a wee bit more. Not that you need to be like monk mode, locked in all the time, but you can always do a wee bit. And then just show, like I enjoyed putting the personality across, and then people like ask me questions, helping them that way. And I'd always wanted to do coaching, because there was a lot of coaches I learned from. The gym was a massive thing for me. My first ever like success in life when I was younger and never won medals, my first ever success in life was getting abs when I was like 13, 14. And having abs, I was like Italy, like flexing, getting the Instagram profile picture, trying to get a really good ab photo for it. So it was from getting abs, and then did a bit of boxing. That taught me a bit of discipline. And then obviously started the gym. And then when I was 17, I did a bit of a wee bit of a fitness model competition. It wasn't anything that big, it was NIFMA. And I won that at 17. So like from going from never winning a medal in my life, always being like, pick last, you'll hear that all the time. I was always picked last for sport and all that. I was always putting nets whenever no one wanted to do nets. From going from that and seeing what fitness had, seeing like what it could do for me, I was always into that fitness side of things. So then like with work, with my 9 to 5, you would have the weekends and you would have your evenings, and people would say like, yeah, I'm flat to the mat with a 9 to 5, and I was flat to the mat, but I knew like I could be doing something else. So that's when I started doing my PT qualification, and I decided to document it.
Yeah, I like that.
Because so many people that tell me they want to do content now, they said, oh, I'm gonna wait until I actually achieve something. I'm gonna wait until I've actually something to like tell people, so then people are inspired from me. But people are inspired from you if they see your journey, if they see, right, this is where you started, and then they relate to you, and then they see you do what you're doing, then that's like, you should document that. That's part of the process. So I'm so glad that like, I documented it back then, and I did the social media while doing the 9 to 5. And obviously people told me, why are you uploading this? Who do you think you are? Do you think you're this influencer? I was just like, I don't know, what even is an influencer these days? Like, you can't really.
You had long hair all the time, didn't you?
Yeah, well, every year I near enough get a buzz cut now. So like maybe the time you seen me leave the 9 to 5 back September, I had long hair, but like this time last year I actually had a buzz.
Did you?
So it just depends. Like I was in the 9 to 5 there last year, so buzzed the head, and then I'll probably grow it out long and buzz it as I normally do.
Something really interesting you touched on there, like you were saying like how you never won essentially to like winning. What do you think changed like mentally? What was the shift, or what was there something that really was there a switch or something in your brain that made you think, right, I need to do this, and then you started winning? Or
good question. No one's ever asked me that. You asked very good questions. So yeah, like obviously it was the abs at 13 that kind of, I believe, started it all, getting the abs. So yeah, I just think I was fed up. I wanted something to do. I wanted something to work on. So I just watched Six Pack in 3 minutes, and I used to do it every single morning. I used to wake up. It's not even the best way to get a six pack, doing a random 3-minute ab workout every single morning, but like it was excruciating. Like it was actually like a very, very painful workout, and I used to just like, I hate the second the alarm went off. I was like, oh no, I just wish I could go for a nice hot shower. But I used to always make myself do that their ab workout, and I think that built a lot of discipline, just like doing things, not waiting for the motivation, not waiting for that, just knowing, right, I'm just gonna wake up and I'm just going to do this. And then initially I got the abs, and then I got that positive feedback because people were like, oh, how do you have abs? How do you get abs? So yeah, from that then I learned, right, putting the head down, you will win. So I would say it's more from that, and then just like since then it's just been more positive feedback for what I do, and then I just keep chasing that.
Yeah, no, I like it. See, whenever people were like, "Oh, why are you uploading this?" or "Why are you doing this?" Because your stuff, I like it. I'm a fan of it. Like, you're so out there, and when negativity comes, how do you sort of cope with that? I guess. How do you cope with, I guess, people like hating on your content and stuff?
How do I cope with it?
Would you get much of it, or maybe not?
Yeah, no,
you,
I do get a decent bit of hate. It's mainly on TikTok. Like that's where you'll find the hate goes.
Yeah, people have no like profile pictures and no like followers and stuff.
Exactly, or like a random character off like a movie for a profile picture. So,
Bart Simpson or something.
Yeah, it's so random. But like you'll notice with the haters, it's always the same people, and they consistently show up. They're watching your videos. They're actually, in a way, they're your best supporters because they're consistent. It's like waking up every day and doing that core workout. Instead of the core workout, they just wake up every day and they comment on your videos, they watch your full video, they boost it into the algorithm, and you just need to see it as that way. And the fact that they feel the need to hate, or they feel the need to go after you, like even the fact that they're sitting scrolling, watching content they don't like in the first place. Like if you're gonna sit and scroll, at least watch things that you enjoy, that make you feel good. Yeah. And if I don't make you feel good, my content, you don't like it, why are you watching it? Yeah. So I just more see it as like it's their problem. But like just keep hitting if you want, because like I'm not going to delete the comments. I'll just leave them there.
Because they're helping, isn't it? As you say, it's interesting. It's like perspective, nearly, isn't it? It's like as you say, you could take that really badly, or else you can look at it from your perspective. And
one thing I have done that like really helped me is just having such a laugh about the hate. Like I do this series of videos every like 2 weeks. I'll do this like video where I'll get the best hate comments. Yeah. I'll screenshot them and then I'll do a reaction video out in public to the hate. So sometimes it may be you can curse on this,
Yeah, work away,
one of them was like, man is an advertisement for Durex, Spudhead, modern day Mr. Bean, just like really funny comments, and I'll just like, the video will just be me like starting like on a bench out in public, just looking at my phone. I just see it and then I go, I'm just like shouting the comments, and then like me and whoever's videoing for me will just have a laugh as we do it, and that's what it's about, just having a laugh, having the crack, and then I'll always like just talk about the hate and then maybe someone else out there that's getting hate, they see that video, they say, oh, Owen's getting hate, I'm getting hate for what I'm doing, it's actually okay, I'm not gonna give up now, just because like no matter what you do, if you're trying to push for change, and that's what I'm doing, I'm trying to push for a bit of change, there's always gonna be
haters.
Yeah, there's maybe not even haters, because the word haters is like, it's overused, but there's always going to be people that disagree. Like no one will ever. You can't just get 100% of people to all agree with you, and that's okay. And I can't expect the world to all agree with what I do. I can't just say, oh yeah, you have to all like what I do, and I can't do things that everyone's going to like. Yeah. So I just need to accept, right? I need to do these things because it is helping people, and I get messages how it helps people. Yeah. So just do those things. Accept that there's going to hate, expect the hate, and it's manage what's about to come.
Yeah. How do you feel whenever like someone sends like a message being like, I needed to hear this today, or like
oh great,
you know, the other side of the scale nearly.
Yeah. Like, amazing, because like I won't lie, sometimes I see the hate and I'm like, sometimes I'll question myself. I'll be like, oh, this person said this, not the ones about my head. I'm like, all right, I'm a spudhead, so what? I see like people.
I don't think it is, by
the way. People are saying like about what I do. They're like, oh, this isn't good. Do you really think you're going to solve all the world's problems by hugging people? Of course I fucking don't. But
yeah, I know.
I know that someone will see that and be like, someone who's maybe a bit anxious out in public. They want to talk to new people. They go to uni or they go to work. They want to make new friends, and they're like, oh, all these people are scary. They're going to see my video and be like, all right, this guy's just literally going up to complete random strangers, asking them for a hug. Yes. Most of them are saying yes. And some people say no, but he's still smiling away. So like, maybe I should just have that conversation. Maybe I should just make a new friend, and that will impact them down the line. So I see it as like, all right, I'm going to get a bit of hate, but if it's going to impact those people, then I need to keep showing up, keep getting out of bed for it. Yeah.
It's motivating, I'm sure, as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
big time.
I feel like you do a lot of stuff. I was just looking there. You do like the best gym in Belfast, rejection therapy.
Yep.
The hug one as well. There were 3 big ones I seen.
Yeah.
What is the best gym in Northern Ireland?
I don't like picking favourites, because every gym, it's like, it's about your experience too in the gym. It's about who you meet, it's about who you talk to, but then it's also about the equipment, but it's also about the lighting. It's also about just how you felt during the workout. So it's very, very hard to gauge.
Is there a top 3?
I would say subjectively, just based off equipment, I would say from where I've been, the gym Yuri. Because I don't even go to the gym Yuri, but like, it's just I know that they've got a lot of equipment. They're constantly updating their equipment. They're constantly swapping things out.
Yeah.
They've got so many different options. So I would say the gym Yuri is pretty good.
Okay.
And then following up with that, it's hard. I do have the gym list, but like, I find that's the hardest part of doing the gym reviews. I love doing the gym reviews, but it's like trying to like it's trying to just put a label on a gym. It's hard. Oh yeah, and then you put the label on the gym. They're like, why would you rate this over that? Why would you do this over that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that gym does have better lighting. Maybe it does have better changing rooms.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just my experience of that day. So I actually don't love putting labels on the gyms.
Okay.
So,
That's
but at the end of the day, it's what you go to the gym, you throw about a couple of weights, and that's all you really need.
Would you find it hard, or people happy enough to interact in the gym? I know some people are maybe like I can't even remember last time I talked to someone in the gym because my earphones were on, to be honest, and like I'm just zoomed in.
Interaction in the gym. A lot of the gym reviews, I don't have to like interact with other people.
Yeah.
Normally like me and maybe someone who's videoing, or me and a few mates will go to it. But last week in Manchester, I did a rejection therapy. It's not out yet, but I was actually complimenting strangers in the gym. So you'll see that coming out soon. You'll see people's reactions, but I won't lie, great reactions. Absolutely amazing reactions. Like just went up to people, oh brother, you're looking big. I told them the truth. I had to like pick something about them and actually give them it had to be a sincere compliment. So like, oh, your delts are looking huge, my friend. Or some guy like bopping his head to music, and I went up to him and I was like, first of all, I love your energy. Like, what music are you listening to? And he made his own music. So then like I was able to follow his Spotify, and the music was great. So like the way I see it, like could have made his day. Now like another person's listened to his music, and like those people, everyone who goes to the gym knows you're showing up every single day. You're being disciplined to something, and you may not be getting that positive feedback that you want. So it's good to get a bit of a compliment in the gym too.
Where do you get the ideas from? It's pretty creative, I suppose.
Just mainly my own head, but then sometimes different people give me ideas. But I do have to credit, like obviously I didn't create rejection therapy. The first time I seen it was actually on a podcast. Similar to a layout like this.
Yeah.
It was actually Alex Ramosi and Chris Williamson, and they always do the podcast where they're like right across the table and they're sitting there like this. And it's so like intense. Yeah. I was listening to that podcast, and it was this is how I started rejection therapy. So it was last year. So I was flat to the mat. I was working my 9 to 5. I'd launched my business. I was doing a separate job like in person in a gym, taking classes. So very, very busy at this time period. And I remember I used to finish my 9 to 5. I finished at about, I think it was just like 5, and then I would start my gym shift at 5:30 and then do 5:30 to 10:30. So I was walking from the 9 to 5 to the gym. I was listening to a podcast, and it was that podcast, and I just remember walking, still remember to this day, I was walking and it was Alex and Chris, they were talking, and they said about the idea of rejection therapy. They mentioned a guy on YouTube who did it. I'm not going to butcher his name because it's hard to pronounce, but a guy in America did it like on YouTube for a series. Yeah. And they both said, they were talking about rejection therapy and like that thing where you get the like you're like told to do something scary, like ask a girl out or ask for free coffee. You go like it's like there's something crawled up in your throat. Yeah. And like you don't want to do it. And they were saying about like it'll be so good for anyone to get over that fear and be able to do that stuff. And I remember listening to them, and they said these are two successful people. They literally said on it, they said that would be a great YouTube idea. They said, and then the other guy said that would be a great YouTube idea. And they were saying about how it would like help anyone, any entrepreneurs. And I remember listening to that, I was like, right, I could actually just like continue walking to the gym. But I stopped. I took out my notes and I wrote it down, and I wrote out a bit of a plan of like, right, I'm going to do this for my content. Because beforehand I was just uploading the typical online coach content, like in the gym, the nutrition stuff, my days in the life. And I was like, all right, I could continue on the way, or I could listen to these successful people and actually, as I said at the start, do what the successful people say. Yes. So I was like, right, I'm actually going to follow through with this. So I wrote it down, and then a week later I texted a guy that was in work. I shout him out, Matty, thank you very much. Actually, both Matties came with me. Shout out to both Matties. I texted both Matties. I said, all right, I want to do this. I explained it to them. I sent them off like a few video links, and I said, do you want to meet after work and do this? And then that's when I did the first coffee rejection, where I went out to coffee shops just around here. Yeah. And I asked for I asked to make the coffee behind the counter, and I went to about 7 different coffee shops. they all said no, bar the last one. And literally, like after 6 coffee shops, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm a failure. My coaching business is gonna fail. Dialed In is down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot right now. The 2 Maddies were starting to doubt me. They were like, oh yeah, Owen, I don't know if it's gonna work. And I was like, I'll go to one more. I'll go to one more, because when they push you down 6 times, you have to get up 7. So
yeah.
I said, I'll go to one more coffee shop. It wasn't going to be one more. I was going to go to a different one if he said no. But the next one thankfully said yes, and went behind the coffee. But went behind the counter, made a banging coffee latte. I don't even drink latte. I gave it to Maddie for filming.
What coffee shop was it?
It was, I don't want to get the guy fired, but
it's good promotion for them.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Blue. I think it's Blue Ink. Is it?
Blue Ink?
It's the one in Victoria Square. So I think it is Blue thing. I think it is Blue Ink.
Shout out to them guys, like.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, I actually have more respect for them letting you do it than the ones you didn't, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose, like, to be fair, like Starbucks, Costa, it's kind of like they kind of can't, because it's a big franchise. So I never take it personal. Every time someone says no, I'll never say, oh, why not? I'll just say, oh yeah, that's fine, have a good day. Because I kind of know what they're going to say, but the whole point is to get rejected. So I was just like, all right. And then, so like that day, that's when I learned. I was like, right, this rejection stuff, you may get no six times. You could start a business and it fails for 6 years, but the 7th year it could just pop. So like that's, again, the positive feedback loop. I was like, right, I need to do more of this. So then that's when I leaned in on the rejection stuff.
No, I like it, because like I feel like that's essentially the what the greats talk about. Like, even 6 no's, most people give up, and that's why they're not at that next level. Do you know what I mean? And you kept going until, I guess, you got a yes, and then you were getting the rewards and stuff from it. Did you not feel like absolute Superman afterwards? Did you not feel like such a high of this like feeling of
it's addicting. It's addicting. Like even editing the video after, I was like rewatching it, and I still sometimes edit my videos, and I'll be sitting there rewatching my videos, and I'm sitting there like laughing away, having the best crack of myself, being like, oh, this is amazing. So it is great.
I think it's so cool the way as you say, the documentary nearly of your life, like, is class, essentially, coming from where you were, PwC, maybe not being so happy, to being this guy right now talking about like how you kept going and won, essentially.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I like actually videoed it all. And I heard another successful guy. I think it was Alex Mosey again.
Was it?
You always have to give credits to your mentor.
You do, yeah.
To your mentors, like, you can't just be like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, it was all in the back of my head. I just kind of like started my business just because I felt like it. Like, I've learned from all these people. And it was Alex Mosey. He said, he was like, oh, I wished I like documented whenever his journey. So I was like, why don't I document my journey? Why don't I show? And not that I knew I was going to be here, but I was just like, even if I fail, at least like people will be entertained. They can laugh. We can all have a laugh about it.
Because you're in Belfast, Dublin, Manchester, isn't it?
Living
for content.
Yeah. So obviously I did a lot in Belfast, and then last week I was in Manchester. Yesterday I got a train to Dublin to do the content. Yeah, so it's that thing of, I knew I could do it in Belfast again, but like if Dublin's like 5% better, and then a few more people see it, well, it's gonna have better impact. And like, so I want to make sure the content's as good as it can be. So like, whether it's hiring people to help me with it, whether it's like traveling, then like it has to be done.
I like it. I think you can do nothing but respect it, to be quite honest. I think it's quite empowering.
I should get a video you send that for the haters.
We'll get 100%. Oh, well, what's been your just when it's on the tip of my tongue here? What's been like your worst rejection on the therapy? Is there a worst?
So yes. So it was the coffee one. Was like, it wasn't the worst, but it was the one where I learned the most.
Yeah.
The worst one. I had the worst one in my head, but after yesterday, yesterday I actually could have beat it. But I'll tell you the worst one so far, like from beforehand. I was in Chester at this time, and I was in the gym training. This is before I did it was like around the start of the rejection therapy last April.
Yeah.
And I was like, right. I need it. I told myself I was gonna ask a girl for a number, or just start up a conversation with a girl. So I told myself I was gonna do that, because I was like, right, this is scary. It's in a gym as well, so it's like even more scary. Obviously I had to be respectful, so I didn't put her on the video. So I was like, right, I'm gonna do this. So you can only see my feet in the video. And then I was like, right, who do I go for? And then I seen this girl, she was a nice girl, and I was like, I I kind of seen her looking my way, so I was like,
That's a sign.
I was like, she want me. No, I was just like, right, if there's anyone that I probably have a higher likelihood of getting a yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'll go up to her. But then again, it's rejection therapy. I probably should have just went up to the person who I knew I would get a no to, like some power lifter, and then I'll probably get whacked in the face. So I went up to her and I said, can I get your name? Because the reason I said, can I get your name? People were commenting on that. That is the worst pickup line ever, Maginn. But I'm like, yes, I know. But if I thought about the pickup line, if I thought, right, what's the best pickup line I can say to her? I would have overthought it. And so many people do this. They overthink it. They're like, I need to post content. Right, what's the best piece of content I can post? And then sit there for weeks. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it in the day. Maybe I'll do a day in the life. Oh wait, I need to wait till I'm doing something. I'm really busy in my day in the life. And then they never do anything. But it's about just doing it anyway. Like, don't overthink it. You're going to overthink it. So I could have sat there, oh, ChatGTP, give me a pickup line or something. Or I just really thought, right, this girl has black hair. She's wearing pink shoes. Should I try to think of a crafty pickup line? But I was just like, no, I'm just going to go up and I'm going to say something. I didn't even think about what I was going to say. And I wouldn't have done it if I didn't. So I'm glad I went up.
Yeah.
I failed miserably, but we learn, we go. So I said, can I get your name? And then she was like, what? Because obviously I speak very, very fast. One thing I've noticed whenever I'm in different countries, I need to slow down. I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot I was in England. I said, can I get your name? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay.
Was that it? Is that it?
Yeah, and then I turned around and awkwardly walked away.
Did you finish your session?
It was at the end of my session.
Oh, was it?
Oh no, I think it was actually halfway through my session. I did. I had to finish the session. I was just looking in the mirror, I could see it. I was like,
oh, fuck. But you learn from that? Do you know what I mean?
I learned from big time. Like, it was very humbling. And that's something you need to do. You need to humble yourself. Like, you don't want to be seen failing. If you're out with your mates and all your mates say, oh yeah, go ask that girl for a number, you're not going to want to do it, because if you get a no, they're going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
And everyone has a bit of an ego. And you don't want ego getting lowered. So you need to put the ego aside and be like, right, I'm actually going to go out here, I'm going to get that no. And obviously some of them have been successful. Last week in Manchester, which we can't go into, but then the one yesterday in Dublin wasn't as successful, because I was in an area where there was a lot of professionals, people were out in their lunch break. So some random guy goes up to you and says, oh, can I get your number, or can I get a hug? It's not going to be, they're going to be like, oh no, who is this? And if they're in Dublin, they're probably just like, oh, it's just some random. Yeah. They're like, who is this guy from Belfast is down. So I was like, so it wasn't as successful in Dublin, but then Manchester was a great experience. So from Manchester, I realized, right, everything I've learned, it's built up to there. And people were like, oh, how'd you do that? How'd you do this? It's like, because I had to fail so many bloody times, and I had to embarrass myself so many times to actually get to that point.
Yeah. No, I get you. It was actually something you put up, I think it was a post 3 days ago. I had to take a screenshot of it. And you say, if they ask that person, they might say no. And it has the skeleton stuff.
Skeleton, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that really hit me, because I thought to myself, yo, he's right. What you're saying there is right. I feel like so many people get so caught up in what if they say no, or the embarrassment of it. But what is the real embarrassment of it there? Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to win. People overthink, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you overthink. By overthinking, you're putting yourself in pain before the rejection even takes place. So before you've even asked a question, you're already in pain just by overthinking. And then when you're overthinking it, you're like, all right, what if it doesn't go right? But you haven't even done it yet. So instead of putting yourself through the pain before the rejection, why not just ask the question without thinking about it? You'll have pain after, but at least you'll learn from it. And then I have the ability to ask that question. Now I can actually learn, and I can ask a better question. I'm not going to go up to a girl. I'm not going to ask, can I get your name? I'm going to ask something that's a bit more crafty. Instead of just, oh, I might ask them, being in pain. No, I'll go bad. Never asking. Ask them, get embarrassed, get humbled, get rejected.
Yeah.
Learn from that pain, and then come back and then do it again. And you need to always see it as best case scenario. Well, best case scenario, the best case scenario will happen. Yeah. Worst case scenario, it never even mattered to begin with, because we're all gonna end up being skulls in a coffin someday. So
yeah. Do you think about that often?
Death?
Well, yeah, kind of. Being fuck it, might as well, because I'll not
in a
be
rejection
here.
sense.
Yeah.
So, do I think of death? Sort of. I just see it more so like of doing. Like I don't really think about anything when I do them. It's just doing it. It's just like I have the task, just tick the box. It's just ticking the box. So like don't overthink asking for whatever it is I'm asking for that day. It's just ticking the box. It's like if you were in a job, whatever job it is, say you're working at Tesco and you're scanning groceries, you're just scanning the groceries. I just see it as like I'm out on the streets, I'm just scanning the groceries. I'm just doing this because I know it's obviously it's my job, but I know it's going to help people too. So I think of the people that I'm helping, and I think of the comments that I've got in the past, the good comments, and I think of the good comments that I'm going to get from doing it too.
Do you have many mentors?
Yeah, a few mentors. So like I'll shout them all out because I'm a big believer of like not gatekeeping, being like, no, I did this all myself. It's all because of me. So like you need to put that ego down. So first Sean Casey, I learned from him a lot, part of his social circle. That was like kind of the start of me uploading on social media. So Sean Casey, learned from him, and then Tony McAlevey, learned from him as well. I listened to his podcast a lot. Daniel Dargan, listened to his podcast a lot. And now I'm like mentored by them all as well. And then also just people, like you don't even need to pay a mentor. You don't always need to pay a fitness coach or a mentor or someone to help you.
Like Alex Hormozy and stuff?
Yeah, like Alex Hormozy, Chris Williamson, listen to those podcasts, try to implement different things in my life from those podcasts too. So I'm just like, you just may as well learn instead of saying, oh, I can do this myself. Just learn from someone else that has done it themselves.
That's like the perfect formula, nearly, isn't it? Like,
but then also have your own spin, because you don't just want to, you can't just copy your mentor word for word, because you're never going to get to that level if you can't be yourself. So you need to like learn from them, but have yourself in that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. How do you find it whenever people? Were you ever like a shy guy, or were you always?
No. I was a shy guy.
Were you a shy guy?
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe it. Like sitting right here, right now, I'd be like, that guy's extremely extroverted.
No, anyone from school would know. Maybe like upper six, I kind of got a bit more confident.
Yeah.
But like anyone that went to school with me would know, like I wasn't naturally like this. I was just always like more quiet. Never that big into sport. Never really applied myself in sport. I'm just like not the nerd in school. Not the nerd, not like that way, but like I was never a jock.
Yeah.
I wasn't a jock, like. So.
What did you ever see them about now and be like, or did they ever say any comments to you if you're out and about or send
the
jocks?
jocks?
No, not even that. Like people from school being like, you've changed so much and.
Yeah, like I'll have like mates in the past or like people's mums that knew me, but most of the time it's actually support. Like see when you see someone in person, most of the time it's going to be positive support. Yeah. But then online, if it's like random comments, that's going to be like random negative support. But you'll notice that the hate very rarely comes from like someone you actually know. They may be hating in the background, but you'll never actually know that because chances are they're not going to put it on social media. They're not going to actually say it to your face. They're just going to talk to their own mates about it and slobber about you. But like even in the 9 to 5, people just saying, oh, who does he think he is uploading these videos? But they wouldn't have said it to me. But then when it's support, like some like you'll be out and like some people saying like about how it's helped. Yeah. Or like people going to my hike club and like that I have new from school and things like that.
Because you have your hike club and a run club.
Yeah.
And there's another one.
Step club.
Step club.
Step club. Yeah.
How do you have the time?
I don't scroll. That's the most simple answer. Everyone says, "Oh, how do you have the time to do all this?" The most simple answer I have is just I don't scroll at all. So that's like that.
Do you upload the content and then off?
I have a guy that uploads content for me.
Oh, so you don't even go like?
I'll do my messages. I do messages on Instagram, and obviously I'll go back through my own content for reviews. But no, I don't scroll at all. I'll see like whenever I upload Instagram, I'll see like the same people. So like if you upload something, I actually would see it because obviously me and you text. Yeah. So like since I've texted you on Instagram, you'll go straight to the top, which is okay because you're making banging content. Like,
so are you. Like that's another thing. Like even stories and stuff. Like your content's like there's loads of it and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I'm actually not even saying that because you're here because like, I was thinking walking over here, I was like flip like the amount of stories and all you have up of the run club of like all different clubs and stuff.
Yeah, so obviously I'll put those on the stories, but then it's like straight back to work or straight back to whatever I'm doing. So yeah, like the reason I could even last year it was forced to do it because if I wanted to launch a business while also working a second job, while also working in the 9 to 5, I had to give something up. So I gave up scrolling. So and then I learned if I give up scrolling, I can do so much, and it's not a case like everyone back home having to give up scrolling. But I even say it with clients. I'm like, right, how long do you spend? How long do you scroll every day? They might say 6 hours. I'm like, all right, can we limit it to 5 hours a day? And I'm like, But what are you going to do to replace that time with? So is there like a business you want to work on? Is there a hobby you want to get into? What are we going to replace that time with? So making sure like that time's actually replaced, because like when I launched the business, I was forced, right? I need to get rid of the scrolling, and then the time was automatically replaced.
Yeah,
so
that's good. Yeah,
you need to make sure you actually have something that you're passionate about to actually work on, rather than just, all right, giving up scrolling. What do I do now? I'll just stare at a wall. Like, of course you're going to end. Like, sometimes if I'm not doing, like, if I was really bored and I didn't have a task to do, my brain would just want to, like, it just automatically want to go on Instagram and start scrolling. Because if you don't know, like, boredom now is literally just scrolling. No one's bored anymore.
Yeah.
People just scroll when they're bored. And it's just so natural to click on Instagram, click on TikTok, and do that. So you just need to make sure you're not bored. And I'm a big believer there's so much you can be doing out there. You can be out hugging strangers in the streets if you want. There's so much better things you can be doing, better connections you can build, podcasts you can listen to, books you can read, you can exercise, whatever it is.
Good quality stuff.
Good quality stuff that you can do outside of scrolling. But I'm not going to force anyone to completely cut it out unless they're like, right, I've got a lot to do. I want to like be the absolute top performer at something. It's like, all right, well, will cutting out scrolling help you, or will it not? No, it won't. And a lot of people, they'll say, like, if they're making content, or like other coaches, I have to scroll because I need to see what's going on in the industry. I need to scroll for ideas. But that's not true. You're going to get ideas. And like other people looking at your content, you're going to get ideas. And I would say the reason my content is not like a lot of other people's content is because of the fact that I don't scroll. Whereas if I scrolled, I would have seen everyone who's doing successful. I would have said, oh yeah, I'm just going to copy them. I just want to do what they do. And you would naturally become them. So that's why I'm so glad I don't scroll. So it's a habit I'm going to keep up forever.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
The rest of my life. Yeah.
Now I think about it, I'm like, how much do I scroll? Probably too much. Do you know what I mean? Without even thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's subconscious, but I don't blame you because it's been ingrained from us from such a young age. Like our monkey brain is programmed to just like it loves that dopamine that comes. And if you're getting that instant dopamine for, like, say you're in bed, first thing in the morning you're getting that dopamine. Why would you want to get up? Why would you want to work? Why would you want to go to the gym? Because you get dopamine from doing that stuff. But why? That's harder to get that dopamine. You would just want to scroll instead. Because if you scroll, you're just going to get it like that. And you're going to get it instantly, straight, like one after another. And if you don't like content, you just scroll. And it just keeps like, so that's why I cut it out, because then I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I have stuff to do. I have to do it. And there's no other option. So straight for the cold shower and then just go for it from there.
You touched on something really interesting there about like, do what you're passionate about and stuff. What is your passion? Is that the online coaching, or is it content, or what is it for you?
I believe it all ties in together. So I would say my passion is like, dialed in is my passion, dialed in. Yeah. But what is dialed in? Like it's everything. It's the content I make, it's my coaching clients, it's the coaching I do, it's my own fitness journey, it's my own mindset journey. Like it's all of it. Yeah. So like I even have it on my phone screen. I have like my goals and like what I'm doing. So then every time I open my phone, I know exactly what it is that like I need to do. I know why I'm like, say I did go on my phone, I was about to scroll. Yeah. I would see it, I'd be like, oh no, like it's a reminder of what I need to do. So my background is it's the year of the dialed in. It's corny as it sounds.
No, I like it. Yeah.
And then it says like my passion, it is being an epicumen. So like being an epicumen for myself. So like obviously showing up to the gym, doing the content because it helps me selfishly. Yeah. Learning from other people. So being an epicumen for me, and then also creating epicumen. So like from actually making that content, someone might watch it and someone might do something out of their comfort zone and they're going to be epicumen. Or from the coaching, obviously I might say something to a client that might have like an impact on their day. So yeah, my passion is a mix of those things. Being an epicumen, creating epicumens, and then from that, like making a massive change to the world. That's my life mission, my life purpose, I would say.
Yeah, what would your work day look like? Would that be the same thing every day? Do you mix it up, or how do you?
I'm a big believer consistency is everything. Like consistency is the main thing. You'll notice even with the gym or whatever it is, the person it's like sprint, like anything with business or content, it's never a sprint. Yeah. So it's never going to be a sprint. Like if there's some people, they can like work so hard over like a day, but then they're just like over the course of 7 days or over the course of a few weeks, they're not like doing what they should. So it's just consistency. So like with me, it's like every day I'll always wake up at the same time. So weekends, during the week, it's just 6 a.m. no matter what.
6 a.m. no matter what's on?
Unless, like, obviously sometimes there may be a social event. So like if I had like a client meetup, I would like, it depends what time I go to bed, but I'll make sure I'm getting my 7-8 hours. But yeah, like it's always 6 a.m. Besides that, so 10 to 6, I have like my bedtime, have my wake time, have a consistency, wake up first thing in the morning, straight into the cold shower, straight away, just do something hard straight away.
Do you do the ice bath as well? Or
No,
the ice bin even
so
from Daniel,
no? Not copying Daniel Dorgan, can't be another Daniel Dorgan, like. No, so the reason I don't do ice baths or any of that is because, like, obviously I agree with him completely, but I just think, like, even from my 9 to 5, they take a wee bit extra time because you need to go for your ice bath, then go for your shower. And so many people's excuses is, oh, I can't buy an ice bath. Why do I, like, buying an ice bath is actually like a big purchase for them. But I'm like, well, you have a shower, so you can do a cold shower.
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, I have a shower, so I can and should do a cold shower, because if I'm showering first thing in the morning, I may as well
get a cold one.
Yeah, get a cold one. So every morning, cold shower, still painful to this day. So straight for the cold shower. When there are ice baths and stuff, I'll go for them, but like I don't do them consistently each day. So cold shower, and then just straight into work for a few hours, and then first meal, and then more work, like obviously for clients. And then I'll actually take one thing that's really helped me. You know where like normally it's the 9 to 5 setup. For me, I work from the morning up until about 12 or 1 p.m. Then I'll take like a 2-3 hour break. During that 2-3 hour break, I'll have a meal, I'll go train, and then I'll have another meal, so my pre-post workout. And I just find that obviously if the sun's out, you get sun during the middle of the day rather than waiting to 5 when the sun's down. And it's just like a nice reset, and then I come back at 3 or 4 o'clock and I'm ready to go. And then I'll work till about maybe 7ish, have dinner. It depends if step or run club's on or whatever's on. So that'll be like my typical weekday, and then just work. A lot of it's work. Like as soon as I left my 9 to 5 for 2 months straight, it was just work. Just work, no drink, none of that. Obviously now it's like, it's a bit more chillax. Like now and again, it might be a client event, or it might be like a mentorship event, and I have to go away somewhere, and that's fine. But the first 2 months after leaving the 9 to 5, it was literally just head down, work. Sleep was horrible. Not that I'd advocate for you to get bad sleep, but it just naturally was horrible because I was just
so focused.
Yeah, I was just waking up, sorting issues in my head, trying to sort out how to do different things in my business, sorting out different things with content, with clients, just like as I dreamed, I'd be like dreaming about different things at work. I just couldn't like get the like away from work near enough, because it's so easy whenever you're self-employed, just to your laptop's always there. It's so easy to just need to work all the time.
Yeah, this is a question, but it's two-parter.
Yeah.
Back whenever, say before PwC and stuff, what was the dream back then? Was it to be the man you are now, or was it to be doing what you are now, or what was it, do you think?
It's a good question. So what was the dream?
What was
when I was in PwC?
What was the dream back then? Like, what if we're in PwC, if you imagine you're back working then, doing your 9 to 5 and stuff, and your goal back then, was it to look and be doing what you are doing now? Was that man in your head you, do you think? Or was it?
It's so hard to say.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say, because looking back in hindsight, like I'd be so happy with where I am now, but I don't know if that was always the goal. Like even the same way in 2 years' time, I have no idea where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm just like a big believer in like the short, like just doing the inputs. So like back then I was going like, well, when I started like dialing in, it was just like, right, what am I going to do today? And that's like near enough how I always work it. It's like, what am I going to do today? And then it's going to set me up for a few months' time. So like, all right, I'm going to get back to clients, impact them. I'm going to upload this content, impact that. I don't see it as like, all right, I'm going to do this, and then in 2 years' time, I'm going to be this exact person. I just sort of do the things every single day, and then that like builds the person as you go. Yeah. So it's like people, like writers will say when writing a book, they don't always have like right in their head what they want to exactly, like what the finished product's going to be, but they just write, and then eventually a book comes out of it. And that's the way I see it. Just like do the work, and then eventually like a new version of you comes out of it. And same with like, say, your own fitness journey. If you're like going to the gym, or if you're working on your mindset, or you're working on your business, just I'm a big believer, just do that work, and then the person will build, rather than getting caught up with your vision boards and like all that. Just know, like I tried to do a vision board, I was like, I can't.
Is that not your thing? I suppose it's like everyone has their thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like and their way of going about it and stuff.
Yeah,
but what you're doing is working, I feel like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just very general about it. Like I just say having a massive vision board, I just have year of the dialed in, be an epic human, create epic humans, change the world. That's it. Like just that simple. And then I know each day whenever I'm doing certain things, I just always ask, right, this thing that I'm doing, is it part of that could be the vision board, you could call it that, but is it part of what I want to do? Is it part of the year the dialed in? Is it part of being an epic human for myself?
Yeah.
Is it creating epic humans? Is it having an impact on the world? Then nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself an epic human now, or is that someone you're gonna?
Ooh.
Just came into my head there.
That's not even the second question. That's a great question.
Or do you think it's going to be you in a wee while, or is it something you're never actually going to? It's like a constantly moving.
Yeah. Like I see it as
destination.
Right now, I'm doing what I should be doing. I know I'm doing the right thing. So, from that, I'm becoming an epic human.
Yeah.
The way I see it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like that end goal's never going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's a really good question. I would say yes, but you're never going to be the complete epic human. You know, like it's not like even with my clients, I would never be like, nah, you're not an epic human. You're not at that position yet.
Yeah.
It's like we're constantly becoming a better
version of
epic
you.
human. There's always going to be more to do. You can always level up in certain ways. But that's a great question.
Yeah.
You got me there. you've defeated me.
You know, because you just said something, and I thought to myself, I haven't even got that written down. I just thought whenever you said that, I was like, fuck, it'd be interesting seeing your
No, that's a good question.
perspective on that.
Do you think you're an epic human?
I think it's very similar to what you just said. I feel like I have this sort of vision in my head of what I want to be, and it's doing the things that you need to do to be that person.
Are you doing those things?
I am. This year has it been as consistent as I want? No, probably not. But I think we're on the track. Yeah.
There we are. Epic human.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Like, but I've actually got a couple more about business and mindset. If you're happy enough and stuff for you.
Crack
you okay
on.
for time?
No, yes, crack on. I could do this all day.
I was going to say, like, if people wanted, you've sort of already touched on this, but I want to really touch on, like, social media. Is there any hacks or is there anything you do that people can take away that work for you? Is there anything you do that this actually works if you want to improve your social media?
So, like, to grow following, to spread your message? The way I see it is just literally don't again, it's not overthinking it.
Yeah.
So not sitting there and saying, all right, I need to do this perfectly, I need to do that perfectly. And everyone says it, but be yourself. Like, put yourself into your content. The way I built up my social media, it wasn't from, oh, here's this random guy working a 9 to 5, or I wasn't sitting in the gym just like talking about something so subjectively. It was, a lot of the time, it was just about me. It was about my own journey, about like my own thoughts.
Yeah.
So I would always say, like, it's far more interesting that way, because we all have the same, like, my message is everyone's message is very, very similar. Everyone's message is to, like, all the motivational guys, it's to work harder, it's to put your head down, but it's actually the person who sends that message, that's like the difference.
Yeah.
So, like, lean in on who you are. If you're someone who is more quiet, well, people are going to relate to that. Quiet people will relate to you, so don't pretend to be someone you're not. Because the only person you can be is you. Same with you, Michael.
I like it. I like that because I feel like if you're online and stuff, not you, just me in general, like, people can feel, from what I've heard, a wee bit of like imposter syndrome. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
And probably that something like that maybe holds them back. That's just what I hear. Like,
oh yeah, we all get imposter syndrome. Like,
yeah.
Like right now, I'm sitting on a podcast and I'm like you've obviously, I sound like a big fanboy here, but you've obviously interviewed Daniel Dargan, you've interviewed Andy Malone, and like this time a year and a half ago, I wasn't in the online space. I didn't do coaching. I didn't do social media. Yeah. And I was scrolling, which obviously I don't do anymore, but I was scrolling, and then I see your face and I see you interviewing Andy Malone, and I'm seeing that video. I'm like, oh, this cool video. Yeah. So like that was me, and then now obviously I'm sitting in the seat getting interviewed by you, and right now I could be sitting here, oh no, I'm an imposter. I shouldn't be here, but you just need to realize, like, if you're on social media, if you're a coach saying something, if you're a hairdresser giving hairdressing advice, you're there for a reason. So like right now I just know, like, all right, I'm here just to have a conversation, just to talk. So I'm just gonna have a conversation and talk. I'm not gonna overthink it and say, oh, well, maybe I'll plan out notes because all this is obviously you've got the professional cameras in, and I'd be sitting worrying, I've never been under professional cameras, I've never been talking for this long for a full hour. Yeah. I just said, the reason you've got me on is because it's you want to talk to me. So why overthink it? Just be me, have a conversation, have the crack. Same with your content, have the crack. It's like when I get the hate, I just laugh at it and make a video about it, me and my mates.
Yeah, I like the way whenever we were like, here, the initial, do you want to be in the pod and stuff? there was like, yes, but there was no like questions of like, can I see the questions beforehand, or is there any like, you said fuck it, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's all training. Like,
yeah.
I see it as, I could ask you the questions, I could plan it out, but does that help me become an epic human? No, because then I'm going to be hiding behind a character that I decide to put on for this podcast. But now, you know, like if I come on and I have no idea what your questions are or what your notes are,
yeah,
I know that the version of me that I'm putting out is just me. So I don't really have to worry about anything, because I know, right, I'm happy enough with the version of me, rather than, oh, I need to, can't say this, can't say that, can't mention the riz, just let it happen, you know?
I like it. Honestly, like I even just talking to you, like I can just feel, I don't know, like I can feel the positive energy. I don't know how you do it, but I can feel it even through the camera and through the phone and stuff. How do you manage that? Like, how do you manage to just get that positive energy out there?
It's a hard question to answer. I just see it as like, I could sit there and be miserable. I could sit there and tell people to feel bad for me or whatever it is, but is that going to serve me? I've always noticed that whenever I do be positive, whenever I do have a bit more of a smile on my face whenever I talk to someone, even like short term when I ask for the hugs, if you have a smile on your face, you're more likely to get a yes. Good things happen if you are more positive, from what I see.
Yeah.
If you're Debbie Downer all the day, all day, like you're going to attract Debbie Downers. If you're someone that's positive, someone that's a go-getter, you're going to attract go-getters. You'd rather be with those go-getters. So that's the way I kind of see it. But like, it's a case of, it's just I just like having the crack. I like sitting here like chatting away, whatever it is, talking about the rejections, all that. So it's more that, and then of course I'm not sitting at home like bouncing up. Like when I'm at home, I might be working, and that's my time to reset, or I might be in the gym training. Like if anyone knows me from the gym, if someone's there, I'll have a conversation. But if I'm actually doing like sitting there doing my own session, I'm listening to music, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm not sitting there like bouncing around. Like so I'll also have that time where I'm like chill. Or I'll go for like, I call it pondering. I don't know why. Every single night. So it's again consistency. So every morning wake up at 6. Every night before bed at about 9:30, I'll go out for a walk. I'll listen to maybe a podcast or a bit of music, get some steps, and then sometimes there's this bench I like to sit on where it's like beside the River Lag, and I'll just watch the River Lag and go. Sometimes I'll actually just turn off the podcast and just think. So when I'm giving myself time to do that, I'm not sitting scrolling. That's not drain. You'll notice scrolling drains your energy. I'm not sitting scrolling. So then, if I'm like pondering and then I'm working and then I go to something like this, of course I'm going to be energetic because I'm like, I'm so happy to be here. Yeah. Whereas like if I'm sitting scrolling all day and then I show up here, I'm like, oh, I could be getting dopamine right now.
No, that's mad. Honestly, like I'm going to see after doing this, I'm going to watch this back and make notes because like, honestly, swear to God, like me and Ross do that all the time. Because whenever you're talking or whenever a guest is talking, you only miss bits the first time.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, but whenever you actually sit back and like listen, be like, holy fuck, like wee nuggets of gold. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have 3 questions left for you.
100%.
I want to really Alex Hormozy dial in on this one, but like, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received?
Yeah.
Oh, give me a minute. Yeah, is the second question like a bit easier for me to get, then I can kind of think about it?
The second question is like, any advice for young people looking to follow in your footsteps?
I think maybe if I answer that one first. I think I'll answer that one first just because best advice for young people wanting to follow in my footsteps?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, just be you. As everyone says it, be you. Don't be afraid to like, if it's on social media, don't be afraid of the hate. The hate will come. It will come for you. So just be okay with it because not everyone's going to like you. Yeah. There's always going to be people that have something to say. Even if you sit quiet all the time, then people are going to say, oh, they're quiet, I hate him. Or if you're someone that's loud, oh, he's too loud, I hate him. No matter what you do, you can't keep everyone happy. Yeah. It's very rare, very, very rare. So accept that there will be hate, but then I'll also accept that if your message is like halfway good, or what you're doing is halfway good, like, you're going to get that love too. So be ready for that love. And then just do something uncomfortable every single day. And don't hide in... A lot of people hide in a comfort zone, but everyone knows what the comfort zone is. Oh yeah, it might be junk food, it might be Netflix, it might be scrolling, but everyone knows that. A lot of people actually hide in a hidden comfort zone. So I even noticed for myself, my hidden comfort zone was the gym. So I would have been training, I'd be like, oh, I'm pushing myself every day, I'm going to the gym every day, I don't have to do anything to improve. But I was wrong about that, because yeah, of course I got comfortable in the gym, but you need to get comfortable in the next thing. Like, the comfort zone adapts. So, like, for example, asking for the hugs got easy for me. So then I had to start doing the asking for numbers, because that was so much more scary.
Yeah.
So you can't just hide in like a new comfort zone, and you can't just kid yourself and tell yourself, oh yeah, I am working hard, or I am pushing myself, if you know in the back of your head that you're actually not. So
yeah,
like, and you do know, like, everyone knows what their big thing is that's holding them back. Everyone knows it. So like, face it, just face that and go for it.
Is there anything holding you back now? Is there anything you feel?
Big time. There's always going to be something. I would say it's people pleasing, I think. So a lot of people say they're a people pleaser, but like, a lot of the content I'll do, I might hold back, because I'm like, oh, how will this look on social media? Will someone be upset about this? Even if I know it's like a video that's going to impact a lot of people, part of me like wants to hold back, because I'm like, oh, one person might get triggered by that. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt that. I don't want that one person being like, oh, why did you say that? Or why did you do that?
Yeah.
But like, even though it'll impact a bunch of people, so I just need to realize that there's like the higher purpose behind it. So I need to actually stick to the higher purpose. And same with like coaching. Sometimes I'll normally tell it how it is, but sometimes I'll be like, oh, maybe I should like I'll be uncomfortable saying that. So I'd say that's it. Like, it's that people pleasing aspect would be the main thing. But then I'm working on it, every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you dialing in,
brother.
Love that. One more for you.
Yeah. Well, what was the first one again?
It was best piece of advice.
Do we have a time limit?
But I feel like no. But have you touched on that? Have you? What was your best piece of advice?
The best piece of. But do you mean like best piece of advice from someone else that I received? You mean yeah? So someone else has given me.
Yeah. To be honest, we can go any way you want, but that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I've actually learned. Best piece of advice I received. There's so many. Many.
I think you've touched on some really good ones there, to be honest.
I'll say like a couple.
Okay.
No, I can't even think. Nah, wait.
I'll go on to the last one here.
Yeah, there's just two. My brain is like,
Yeah,
there's so many different ones I'm thinking about.
This is super easy, but like just closing up and stuff. Like, what's next for you? Is there any events, say people are watching this and want to get involved, like with you, with your content, with your business and stuff? Where can people, I guess, find you?
Just Instagram, you'll see everything I do. So Step Club, Run Club, completely free groups. Hike Club, basically free. I've started getting people to put in a $5, not for me, for charity. So we've started actually, since it's only once a month, whoever goes, you just get everyone to throw in a $5. So Hike Club does have a cost, it's £5 though. So if you can't afford £5 for charity, then I don't want to see you there anyway. And then just obviously dialed in, just on the page. So we're booked at the moment, but we'll be doing an intake probably like March-ish time. Or no, it is March. No, it's 1st March today, isn't it?
Is
probably
it?
Later on the month, or it's April.
20th, so I think tomorrow, is it?
Tomorrow. Yeah, so that's it. And then best piece of advice I've received, I would just say like, fucking stop thinking, start doing. That's it. Like that's the main thing. Stop thinking, start doing, because you can overthink things for so long, and the thinking is nothing. The thinking is not work. So just do. Even if you're going to get embarrassed, you need to get that ego down sometimes. So yeah, just stop thinking, start doing. There's probably an Eoin Maginn listening to this right now. They might be a male, female, might be 40, might be 20, might be 15, I don't know. But like my message to them, I'll look at the camera for this. My message for them is like, you are going to get judged. You are going to get the hate. You are going to get embarrassed and rejected, and you're going to have to put your ego aside, but just show up and just do it, because it's time to dial in. Boom.
Lad, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
On. Pleasure getting speaking to you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on. What's the plan for the rest of the day, or is there much happening?
Rest of the day. Got Hike Club tomorrow, so just get a bit of content out later here on today, and then do like different things with clients, and then just prep for Hike Club tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks so much. Is there anything else we can help you with? Is there anything we can help you with, I guess, on your journey? Is there anything that we can do
one
for you?
One thing.
What's that?
I need you to look at the camera. I need you to say, it's time to dial in.
Sorry?
Yeah.
It's time to dial in. No, mate, thanks so much for coming on. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.
All the best.